Welcome back. I'm Paul Gadbois, and you're watching the module titled Establishing Security Policies and a Code of Conduct. So what is a policy? A policy is a deliberate system of principles to guide decisions and achieve rational outcomes. It's a statement of intent, and it's implemented as a procedure or protocol. It's also a definite course of action that's adopted for the sake of expediency. So a security policy identifies the intent of the organization with regards to all security related matters. What is their strategy? How are they going to approach security? An information security policy document should be approved by management. It should be published and communicated to all employees and all relevant external parties. The information security policy document should state management's commitment to security, and it should also establish the organization's approach to managing information security overall. Now let's take a look at the content of a security policy. The policy document should contain statements and detailed information concerning the following topics. First of all, a definition of what information security is to that organization should be clearly stated within this document. The overall objectives of information security should be clearly written so that everybody understands what the organization is trying to achieve. Also, the overall scope of information security should be outlined so that everybody understands where the jurisdiction of information security begins and it ends. And then finally, the importance of security to the enterprise. Why are we doing this? Why are we putting all this effort into information security? If people understand the why part of it, they're more likely to comply with the requirements of your policy. A policy document should also include a statement of management's intent to support security goals. If everybody understands that leadership is behind the policy, and that they're the ones that are truly mandating that everybody follow it, people will more likely follow the policy as well because they'll understand that this is a top-down directive. A framework for setting control objectives and controls is also important. Everybody has to understand that when their job requirements are changing with regards to security, that they understand how these changes came about. What is the chain of command that allowed these control objectives and controls to be established? A definition of responsibilities is also important because not everyone has the same responsibilities with regards to security. It really depends on what their role is within their normal job and within the security organization. And then finally, information security management expectations should be clearly outlined as well. And finally, the security policy should include a brief explanation of the security policies, principles, standards, and compliance requirements that are of particular importance to the organization. For example, legislative, regulatory, and contractual compliance should be outlined. Security education, training, and awareness requirements, business continuity management expectations, and consequences of violating a security policy. The information security policy should be communicated throughout the organization in a manner that is relevant, accessible, and understandable to the entire community. Now that I've provided you with some information about what to include in an information security policy document, let's take a quick look at policy reviews. The information security policy should be reviewed at planned intervals, and you should always put it through a review process if any significant changes occur to that policy. Reviews will ensure that the policy continues to be suitable, adequate, and effective for its intended purposes. The information security policy should have an owner who has approved responsibility for the development, review, and evaluation of that policy. The review should identify any opportunities for improvement. The need for improvements may be driven by changes to the organizational environment, the business circumstances, the legal conditions, or the technical environment. Any of these things could, in fact, drive changes to the policy. So you have to keep in mind the policy document and the effects that other changes within the organization may have on that policy. The input to the management review of a policy should include information on feedback from interested parties, the results of independent reviews, the statuses of preventative and corrective actions that may have taken place, the results of previous management reviews, process performance and information security policy compliance information, changes that could affect the organization's approach to managing information security, including changes to the organizational environment, business circumstances, resource availability, contractual, regulatory, and legal conditions, or to the technical environment itself. Trends related to threats and vulnerabilities that exist within the organization may affect the policy as well. Reported information security incidents and recommendations provided by relevant authorities. These are inputs that would drive a policy review. During the evaluation phase of the policy review, a record of the management evaluation should be maintained. Management approval for any revision to the policy should also be obtained and maintained. The output from the management review should include any decisions and actions related to improvement of the organization's approach to managing information security and its processes, improvement of control objectives and controls, and improvement in the allocation of resources and/or responsibilities.